Hey everybody, it's me, Dulcinea from Spilling the EsTea podcast. Today we are talking about our number. We have several numbers of what's most important, but this is one of them. It's rebooking. Rebooking is important for so many reasons. One being that I always tell people it's like a crystal ball that predicts your future for the next month. So it's super important to do, and you don't want that customer to end up going to a different business just because you didn't do these simple things that Lauren here is a master of. She is our queen of rebooking. She is at our Las Vegas location in Aliante. And so we thought she would be the perfect person to come on and talk about rebooking. So what made you decide like rebooking was going to be your thing, the thing that you do?
I don't know. I think coming into the industry and then I started with Humblebee right away. And so I think the help of you guys and how much you stress the importance of it, I kind of just took it and ran with it. I think it's, if not the most important thing, just because it's such an unpredictable industry. We have slow seasons, we have busy seasons. And so if you have, those clients that you've already rebooked, a month out, that's steady money for you.
Yeah, it really is funny.
Uh,
I love that you said when we have slow seasons because whenever I hear that, it's like a cringe thing for me because I think of you and I think of all the people who actually do rebook. They don't have slow seasons
yeah,
because you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're creating that connection. And with hair removal, it's like a hygiene thing, and people want that, and it's going to just be part of their routine every single month. 12 months out of the year, they will do it.
absolutely.
So
And
yeah,
if it's the start of their sugaring journey, just making sure to express how important it is to make sure that your appointments are consistent. Consistent appointments get you consistent results, and that's money well spent. That's
for
the way
sure.
that's the way I see it.
And you do such a good job at it. Like literally love your books because I'm like, wow, look at like I'll look at the same day and look at it the month from now, and like it literally looks like the same day
Yeah,
that
so it's like, yeah, so when we go through those slower seasons or, those slow seasons, it's like you still have an income and you're not stressing so much about, am I, it doesn't feel slow, during those seasons because you have a steady stream of income with that. So
for sure. Yeah. Okay. So give us the tea on how do you do it? Like, what's your process to having them rebook with you?
So, okay, so for me, from start to finish, when they first come in, let's say it's their first time getting sugared, and I immediately explain everything as I go. So I explain what is sugaring, what are the benefits of it, what's the differences between waxing and sugaring, and what kind of results should you expect over the next few weeks, and how do you upkeep those results. So I think that's the biggest thing is just I make sure to really express the importance of keeping up with those appointments. And it's important to just make sure you have it, in your calendar so you don't even have to think about it. It's easy to forget, right? Because with sugaring, you're not growing as much hair. So if you're not growing as much hair, you forget all about it, and you kind of, it's 4 weeks later and you're like, oh wait, I think it's time for my appointment. I think for me, as I really stress like the education part of it, and especially if they're just starting out with their sugaring journey, and really taking into account like their hair type and their past experiences with shaving or waxing. And I kind of just let them know what would work best for them. And then, yeah, I just pull up my schedule and I'm like, I think you should come in right at 4 weeks. This is the day. What time works for you? That's really the process. But I think really explaining to them why it's so important, not to skip an appointment, not to shave in between, that for them, once you have an understanding of it, then they're like, oh, absolutely. No, I'll rebook with you right now. Let's go ahead and do that. So that's that's for me, I think that's my main thing is I really stress just the education part of it because a lot of people don't know about sugaring and all of its amazing benefits. So that's the main part of my process.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love how you kind of explain it. And I agree with you talking about like the benefits. And my thing was if I had a client who looked like they're the first time too, and they're like kind of like, this is a little much for me. I stress to them like you have to come because I promise you it's not gonna feel like it may feel like this the first time, but your second time it's gonna get better and better. And
Absolutely.
me just telling them that they leave, they'll say, okay, I need a book because I don't want it to feel like this again.
Yes,
And
I
it
always
really
tell them.
makes sense.
Yeah, yes, I always say the same thing too. I always stress. I'm like, at least try it twice. If after that second time, and come in right at 4 weeks, right at four
Mhm.
weeks. If after that, it's, you don't think you can do it, then maybe it's not for you. But honestly, like, again, it's expressing to them, like, when I rip that hair out of its follicle, it's coming back so much thinner. You're not going to feel it as much the next time. So
Okay.
once I explain it to them like that, then they're like, okay, like let's go ahead and just book it.
Yeah, and usually it's hair that's been growing on them for like who knows how long. And if
Yeah.
they're shaving, they're literally cutting it at like a flat top. So it's
Yes.
a little bit more intense. But yeah, really educating them is really, I think to me, what you're saying, that's exactly how I go about rebooking and the confidence behind like you telling them the days they need to come in is so important. It's so key, giving that confident, like, I know what I'm talking about. You need to come in 4 to 6 weeks. Like you have to.
Yeah.
Here's the dates. Like don't even give them like options.
No,
Don't give them an
exactly.
option because usually if
Exactly.
you say like an option, it's kind of like. But I think people like more direct. Like this is what you
Yeah.
need to do.
And most
Yeah.
most people, they have a set schedule and they like to have everything ready to, there's plenty of verbiage that you can use in the room. You can let them know, hey, it's better to book it now and change it later than to not have an appointment at all. I think it holds them accountable a little bit too with, again, if they're starting out with sugaring and it's something that they want to do consistently, they're gonna book the next appointment with you.
Oh, for sure.
So, but I also really emphasize, for me, like, the because again, there's plenty of things you can say to get them to rebook, but why are they rebooking with you? So, like, what kind of service are you providing that makes them want to come back? They see your value and they're like, I better book with you right now because I know you're busy. I can tell that you're a busy girl. So let me book this appointment because who knows in a month if you're going to have time, and I want to get in with you. I don't want anybody else. So again, for me, it's really why. What kind of service am I providing? Am I creating a safe space for the client? Am I making them feel comfortable during a service that otherwise is very uncomfortable and very vulnerable? So I put a lot of importance on the way that I connect with my clients and getting to know them and remembering small details about them that you can, discuss at a later appointment. And that for me is not only my favorite part of the job, but again, I think that really it all plays together with the rebooking, right? Am I being as thorough as possible? Because that's another thing too. Clients come in, they pay a lot of money for these services. So they can love you. You can get along with them so well. You could, really hit it off with them. But if they leave and they go home and they see that you didn't get all the hair, well, they're going to find someone else. So that for me is also something that I put a lot of importance on. I am super thorough and my clients like that. They want to come back to me because they know that they're going to have those consistent results every single time. That's,
Yeah.
that's part of my process as well. It's just really that connection with the client and making sure that I'm providing a service that is consistent and that they know they want to come back to every time. And they get excited about their appointments too, to come in and chat with me. And so that's a big part of it as well.
I love this. Everything you said, it's just melted my heart. Exactly. Like if you do everything that you just talked about, you will be like you, the queen of rebooking. And so awesome. Like literally everything you're saying, like, yeah, that's why her books look exactly the way they do. So cool. Okay, so before we leave and say bye, I want to ask you and tell the STs out there listening, coming fresh out of school, like what were your expectations? And now that you are actually like 4 years in the treatment room and working a job that you seem to love, what advice would you give them?
So, well, first, school really doesn't prepare you for much. You learn the basics and everything else you work through on your own out in the field. And they actually even tell you that in school. They're like the majority that you're going to learn is going to be hands-on, you know, in a studio, whichever direction you choose to go in aesthetics. But I think, the expectation is that you're going to kind of go out there and you're going to just immediately have clients, and it's not going to be hard to find a job, which is not the case at all. It's very hard because a lot of places want you to have experience, and coming right out of school, you're obviously not going to have any at all, and we all have to start somewhere. I think, well, and then for me, when I graduated school and started with Humblebee, it was right in the midst of COVID. And so I came out of school and I got my license and I had all these expectations of how it was going to go. And then global pandemic. And it's like, well, it was scary because I was like, well, what's the industry even going to look like after this? So, um, I think taking it one step at a time and really just putting yourself out there, and just kind of having the expectation that you're gonna be slow for a while. It's gonna take a long time to build your books, and that's okay because you're gonna get there when you get there, and you will. But I think just having a lot of patience, and really making sure that you, like I mentioned earlier, are just every single client, you're providing the best service and you're at your best. So you leave everything else at the door and you just really focus on your client and making them feel good, because that's what we do, right? We make our clients feel good. So yeah, that would be my advice for that.
Woo! Wow, I'm so happy to have you on
Thank
the
you
Spilling
for
the
having me.
podcast,
I'm
and
so
it was so
glad. That
great.
was so fun. Thank you so much. I know this has been in the works for a long time, so it's so fun to see it all come to fruition and be a part of it as well.